I was in the office on a phone call, and somebody tapped on my shoulder and said there was a phone call from, they said it's your husband, but it doesn't sound like your husband. I realized something was wrong, and a man just says to me, there's been an accident and your husband's being taken to Tampa General. And the moment I stepped into the doorway, his dad grabbed me because my husband was unrecognizable. It was very difficult. I remember by the end of that day, I called some friends and just broke down. I thought, wow, I don't even know. He can't tell me if he's in pain. He can't tell me anything.
I remember the entire explosion. I remember putting my hand in for the third alligator clip, this very quick sizzling, and then just a huge explosion, a giant ball of white lightning, basically. I was in a coma for about a month and a half. I had to learn how to walk again. I had several throat surgeries. I had several hand surgeries. It took about a year and a half of rehab to regain the use of my hands and arms. If I would have been wearing my voltage-resistant gloves, my fire-retardant shirt, and my arc shield, I would not have gone to the hospital for more than a mere checkup or a few minor burns. As far as I'm concerned, I had it easy. I was in a coma for a month and a half. I didn't have to go through all of this. But my wife, wondering if her husband's gonna make it home alive, my little boy wondering if he's gonna have a father, the rest of my family wondering if their son or brother's gonna live. Sometimes I think, what if?
Let's talk reality. An injury or death causes pain and suffering, and not just for the victim. Those around us are affected too. The choice to wear personal protective equipment or not is really up to you. But know this, wearing PPE has saved many people from injury and death. Maybe more importantly, it has saved a lot of heartache and regret. Your employer must identify the hazards in your workplace. Where possible, engineering and administrative controls are used to remove the hazards. When hazards can't be eliminated, you need personal protective equipment, PPE. Along with evaluating hazards, your employer provides you with the appropriate PPE for use on the job, makes sure you're medically qualified for certain tasks, and trains you on the use and care of your PPE. Today, there are many styles and designs of PPE available, which means PPE is more comfortable and fits better than ever. When it comes to PPE, your responsibility is to wear it, care for it, clean and maintain it, and inform your supervisor when it needs to be repaired or replaced. As a general rule, always store PPE in areas that protect it from light, temperature extremes, excessive humidity, or other damaging substances and conditions. Now let's take a look at the types of PPE available. Your brain is very powerful. It controls nearly every function of your body. But your brain is also very fragile. It basically floats inside your skull, connected to the rest of the body only by a network of delicate fibers. Your skull protects your brain, but it can only withstand a certain amount of impact. One of the easiest ways to protect your brain from injury is to wear a protective helmet or hard hat. A hard hat's tough outer shell is suspended above the head by high-strength webbing. The shell helps keep objects from penetrating your skull. The suspension system absorbs the shock of a blow, so that no single point on your head takes the whole blow. This design also allows ventilation to your head to keep you more comfortable in day-to-day use. You should always wear a hard hat when there is a danger of objects falling from above, in areas where you could bump your head against an object, and where there is a chance of accidental head contact with electrical hazards. Type 1 hard hats protect the top of the head from impact. Type 2 hard hats provide protection from top impact as well as impact from the sides, front, and back. Type 1 and Type 2 hard hats are broken down into 3 classes for electrical protection. The first, Class C, is not rated to provide protection from electrical contact. Class G protects you from low-voltage electrical hazards up to 2200 volts. Class E protects you from high-voltage electrical hazards up to 20,000 volts. Some hard hats are made with slots or mounts for accessories such as earmuffs, safety glasses, or face shields. Other hats may have chin straps, brims for sun protection, or channels that guide rainwater away from the face. Never use an accessory if it decreases the hard hat's ability to protect you. A hard hat must fit right in order for it to protect you. Choose a size that fits snugly on your head but does not bind or chafe the skin. Most hard hats have headbands you can adjust to ensure a proper fit. Test the fit by bending over and shaking your head. If that falls off, the fit is too loose. Wear the hard hat level on your head, not tilted, and make sure there is always space between your head and the shell of the hard hat. Inspect your hard hat's shell and suspension system every day. Look for cracks, holes, tears, or other damage. Replace a damaged hard hat immediately. Also, replace a hard hat that has sustained an impact, even if you can't see any damage. Never drill holes into your hard hat, as this can weaken the shell. Don't place stickers on, paint, or use markers on your hard hat unless the manufacturer approves it. Don't throw or drop your hard hat. Store it in direct sunlight or clean it with harsh chemicals, since these can lead to damage over time. Your eyes and face can be injured by many things on the job. Flying particles from chipping, grinding, sawing, hammering, or other activities can damage the eye. Chemicals and harmful light from welding or lasers can also cause injuries. Safety glasses have strong frames and impact-resistant lenses and provide protection from the side with the use of side shields. Goggles are tight-fitting and completely cover the eye area. They protect against impact, dust, and splashes. Goggles without vents can also protect against fumes. Some goggles are designed to fit over prescription or safety glasses. Face shields are designed to cover the whole face and are made of plastic. Since face shields protect against dust and splashes but not impact, goggles or safety glasses should be worn underneath for added protection. Other eye and face protection includes welding shields and laser safety goggles. Your employer will instruct you further if you need to use this type of PPE. Proper fit is just as important as choosing the right type of eye or face protection. Make sure the PPE fits snugly on your face and doesn't slide down your nose. Use a headband to secure it if necessary. If you wear contact lenses or prescription glasses that change tint, check with your employer to make sure they're allowed. Remember that your normal prescription glasses alone may not give enough protection. You must wear goggles or a face shield over them, or use prescription safety eyewear. Clean your eye and face protection often so that you can see through them clearly. Use water and non-abrasive soap to avoid scratching the lenses, and let them air dry. Hearing protection is often one type of PPE that people think they can do without. Why? Because hearing damage usually occurs gradually over time. It's often difficult to tell that you're losing your hearing until it's too late. Your ear converts sound waves to signals your brain can understand through small hairs called cilia. These hairs are very delicate and over time can be damaged by noise. Hearing protectors come in different noise reduction ratings, also called NRR. Your employer will provide you with the correct protection for the environment and post signs where hearing protection is required. Disposable earplugs are the most common type of hearing protector. They're made of materials such as foam or silicone rubber and expand to the shape of the ear canal. The biggest mistake people make with earplugs is not wearing them correctly. To get the most protection from earplugs, roll and compress them between your fingers and thumb. Reach behind your head and pull up and back on your ear to open the ear canal. Insert the plug and let it expand inside your ear canal. Always throw away disposable earplugs after each use. Reusable canal caps are similar to earplugs, but are connected by a band. Depending on the style, they may be worn over the head, behind the neck, or under the chin. They should be cleaned after each use. Earmuffs use foam or liquid for sound insulation. To work properly, they must seal perfectly around the ear. Remove glasses or earrings, tie back long hair, or trim facial hair. Wear earplugs with earmuffs to get the best protection from noise and flying debris. To keep clean, wipe off earmuffs regularly. Headphones or earpods, such as those used with MP3 players, will not protect you from loud noises. In fact, listening to loud music while you're working can damage your hearing as well and make it harder to hear warning shouts or alarms. Most workplaces don't allow personal music devices. Remember this, an increase in decibel level is no small matter. A sound that increases from 90 decibels to 96 decibels has actually doubled in loudness. Whether you need respiratory protection and which type you need depends on many factors, including the contaminant you're exposed to and how long you're exposed. Respiratory protection can be as simple as wearing a dust mask, or more involved, as when selecting a half-face respirator, full-face respirator, self-contained breathing apparatus known as SCBA, or inline filtered breathing system. If you need respiratory protection, your employer will determine which type is necessary and will fit test you and train you in its use. Certain respiratory protection requires a medical evaluation, and you'll need to be physically qualified. Your employer will let you know more about the respiratory protection you may require. Your hands and arms are used in just about everything you do, all day long. Imagine how your life would be different if they were injured. Wear gloves to protect your hands. The gloves you need depend on the job you do and the hazards you face. Your employer will determine the hazards and provide the necessary gloves. If you work with sharp objects, such as knives or with moving blades, wear cut-resistant gloves. These are made with materials such as steel mesh, Kevlar, or tough synthetic yarns. If your work involves extreme hot or cold temperatures, you need temperature-resistant gloves. This type of glove uses special materials to protect the hands, which can include thick leather, insulation, special synthetic coatings, or aluminized backing. If you work with chemicals, you should wear chemical-resistant gloves. Different chemicals require different types of gloves. Most are made from synthetic rubbers and plastics such as latex, neoprene, and polyvinyl chloride, also known as PVC. Your employer will provide the appropriate glove for the chemicals you use. Keep in mind that chemicals can cause gloves to break down over time, so be sure to replace gloves when needed. Never use cotton or canvas gloves when working with liquid chemicals, since they can soak through and cause irritation or burns. If your tasks involve possible contact with electrical voltage, you should wear insulating rubber gloves. General-purpose gloves protect you from cuts, abrasions, and punctures. They're made from a variety of materials, such as leather, cotton, or synthetics, and are good for general tasks such as lifting, moving, or handling objects. Some tasks, such as welding, certain electrical work, and some chemical handling, require the use of arm coverings or elbow-length gloves. Also, for some tasks, wearing a second pair of gloves underneath provides added protection. Gloves should fit snugly, since gloves that are too big can get caught in machinery or moving parts. Also, gloves that are too thick can affect your grip, and therefore your safety. Inspect gloves before every use. Look for cuts, tears, or thinning of material. Replace gloves when damaged or deteriorated. Throw away disposable gloves after each use. Be aware that some people are allergic to latex and other glove materials, and that there are several alternatives to choose from. When there's a risk of heavy objects falling on, rolling on, crushing, or penetrating your foot, you need to wear protective footwear. There are many types of protective footwear. Steel-toe shoes or boots with non-slip soles protect the toes from being crushed while also preventing you from slipping. Metatarsal and foot guards give added protection from crush injuries. Puncture-resistant insoles or shoes with steel shanks keep sharp objects from penetrating your foot. Pull-on boots and overshoes are often made of rubber or synthetic materials and have non-slip soles. Overshoes and overboots slip over your footwear to protect you from things such as hazardous chemicals, slippery floors, or extreme cold. Shoe covers, sometimes called booties, provide different types of protection, from dirt and grime to liquid splashes to hazardous chemicals. If your feet are exposed to electrical hazards, you must wear non-conductive safety shoes. On the other hand, if you work where static electricity can cause explosions, you must wear conductive footwear, which is designed to drain static charges into the ground. Some tasks require protection of the leg as well. For example, leggings protect the legs from hazards like molten metal and sparks. Shin guards protect the lower leg from rolled logs, brush, steel rods, or pipe. Feet need protection in hot environments too. Whether you're in a foundry or out in the field, be sure to have the right protection for whatever conditions you work in. You might need body protection if you're exposed to things such as intense heat, hot metals or liquids, hazardous chemicals, or radiation. For example, Tyvek suits provide a barrier against particulates such as asbestos. Chemical suits prevent hazardous materials from contaminating your skin. A leather welding jacket protects you from burns from sparks or hot metal. Your employer will determine the body protection you need for your job. Like all PPE, inspect protective clothing every time before you use it. Today you've learned about the different types of PPE, the importance of getting a good fit and maintaining your PPE. Your employer may provide you with the right personal protective equipment to do your job safely. It's your responsibility to wear it.
You're never thinking that you're going to go out there and try to get yourself killed today, or that you're not going to wear their protection and get injured. Things happen to you. It's not just other people on TV. It's not people on the news. These things can happen to you and will happen to you if you're not using some form of safety.
Yeah, I really just want them to stop and think each day when they're out in the field. The equipment they can wear, the protection they can wear is very important.